Collaborative Arts Partnership Programme is a 4-year Creative Europe project about supporting artists who are working collaboratively in social and community contexts across the 6 partner countries that are involved in the project. The partner network is a part of this project, and it consists of Create in Ireland as the lead partner, Heart of Glass in St Helens, Tate Liverpool, and the Live Art Development Agency in London. Those are our UK partners. MCOT in Helsinki in Finland, Agora in Berlin, Kunsthalle Osnabrück in Kunsthalle, Germany, Ludwig Museum, Contemporary Art Museum in Budapest in Hungary, and Habla and Arte, who are based in Madrid. That diversity of experience was really important to the project because we could share various expertise, our different understandings of collaborative practice. We learned enormously from each other and each other's very particular contexts and ways of working. So Capp sought to support artists to have opportunities for greater exchange and mobility across Europe. Artists that work in social and community contexts, who collaborate with communities to draw out, illuminate and explore issues and real-life experiences that are deemed important and identified by communities across Europe. Capp allowed us to work on a scale that was really very rewarding, to engage with artists working in rural, urban contexts, to share understanding and learning, but most importantly to work transnationally and to engage in very deep, important and rigorous intercultural dialogue in order to realise the project. One of the central tenets of Capp was this question of intercultural dialogue and to build a shared understanding of collaborative practice. And that involved really trying to understand the work that was going on for each partner in their own specific context and in their own territory. And for that we put an enormous amount of effort into travelling, to encountering each other in person, learning from work that was happening on the ground, in communities, in neighbourhoods. The collaborative work is all about relationships and it's all about building trust and solid frameworks to realise the projects. That was an enormous part of the work that we engaged in Capp and realised very successfully. In terms of the impact of the project, we would have to address that generally and then specifically to perhaps to each partner territory. The commissions that were realised across the 9 partners were very different in scale, in themes, but what they shared very often was a real poetry and a real beauty. So Floating House is one example, a project that was one of the Ludwig Museum's commissions, working with artist Benzin and a community that were based in northern Hungary, whose livelihood, if you like, had really disappeared with the now defunct mining industry. And children in that neighbourhood, in that region, realised the most beautiful project, a house that was looking for a home. And the house floated across the lake in a very evocative image that really poses questions about where we all live and how important it is to have a home. And at this time in Europe, when so many people are displaced, sometimes projects like this go to the very core and the very heart of questions that arise in relation to people's experience and how unsettling that can be. And art can do that in ways that perhaps other interventions and endeavours cannot. There are a number of projects that are ongoing because of the strength of the work that was realised through the project. Playing Up is an extraordinary project where children and young people, and indeed by extension their parents, got involved in the most innovative, experimental ways of exploring live art. This project was premiered in the Tate Modern and had phenomenal audience numbers over its first 3 days. We were fortunate enough to host Playing Up here as part of our culminating event for Capp, Practice and Power. And again, in relation to the question of legacy for Capp, Playing Up will continue and has many future iterations because it is a project that now is in real demand because people see its inventiveness, its possibilities, and the extraordinarily creative, a new journey it can bring children and young people on in relation to live art. What was very important to us in Capp was communicating our work. So we devised 5 staging posts, which were public dissemination moments held in 5 different partner territories. These were moments of gathering with artists, residents, community members, the arts organisations that were involved in the Capp Partner Network. The audiences for these staging posts varied from 80 to 300 people. It was really important for us to communicate the findings of the projects, the engagement of the artists, to glean the experiences of the participants, to have them at the centre of the debates in terms of what it was that we were trying to do in relation to developing the field of collaborative and socially engaged practice across Europe. What the Creative Europe Fund allowed us to do was to devise a 4-year time frame. The value of that was that we could work carefully and diligently. We were able to establish rigorous and important and in-deep relationships with the partner network and with the participating artists. It cannot be understated the value of that level of funding to each of the partner organisations and to the Capp network as a whole, which allowed us to far exceed our original targets in the project and to realise an incredibly rich and diverse array of projects with community experience at its centre, with artist learning at its core, with a whole range of projects that reflected people's real-life experiences in contemporary Europe. We had originally proposed that we would realise 8 commissions. In fact, we realised 32. We engaged with audiences of over 100,000 over the lifetime of the project. We far exceeded the professional development workshop targets that we set for ourselves, where we had close to 1,500 artists engaged in really important, rigorous, diverse professional development opportunities. For a Creative's lead partner, being involved in the Collaborative Arts Partnership Programme has been an enormously significant learning experience. It has extended our capacity as an organisation to be able to work transnationally, to develop the field of social engaged and collaborative arts practice has been of enormous significance and benefit to us as an organisation. We have benefited enormously from being able to connect the European network back to Ireland and the Irish context, and by extension to give Irish artists the opportunity to engage with their European counterparts in numerous peer-to-peer learning and project sharing opportunities that have arisen through this project. And we'll be making sense of this project and gleaning the learning from Capp for some time to come, because it was such a rich project and continues to give in that sense.